Are you ready, kids? Yep. Time for more fun. Time for something completely original that no one has ever done before. Here's the beginning of a series of Ark Survival Evolved on the island map. First things first, let's start to correct things and adjust the gamma down. Now, yes, okay, I know lots of people have done this and lots of people have watched lots of people doing this. But this is a fresh start for me on the island map, which is not only to try and pass on a bit of knowledge and hopefully a bit of amusement as well, but also to kick my backside into going all the way through the map, getting through all the bosses, all the caves, and ascending. So, first things first, we've got to a nice safe place, which is part way up this hill. This is on the south coast, as you saw from the map, and is one of the easiest places to find metal in the early game. So, just going to grab up some resources, wood, thatch, stone, flint, etc, etc. As soon as you can, you want to start to get to crafting things, and so having somewhere safe for you to actually stay is always a bonus. So I found myself, as I said, part way up the hill, close enough that I can run down to the water, and close enough so that I can get to the metal deposits. First things first, I want to find a nice flat place that I can actually put down some foundations without only putting 3 to find out that the 4th one doesn't fit because of the slope or something. And of course I'm already dehydrated. One fact to remember here is I'm wearing the thatch clothing, and of course I'm looking good, so I've got to wear the trousers and I've got to wear the hat. If I'd put the top on as well, then it would have actually cut down the heat exhaustion. So we've gone down to the water there, as you saw I topped it up. I'm sure most of you know this, but if you actually just go into the water, you don't need to submerge yourself completely. Just press the harvest button, which as I'm on PlayStation 4 is a triangle, and you'll collect the water. Same as if you put a water skin in your hotbar, then you can press the button and it will collect the water the same way. Now, on the way down here I got chased by this pack of compies. There were 4, and here they are again. As I'm sure you saw there, then by the time I'd already killed the first compy, I was already exhausted, so this wasn't the wisest of things to do. The sooner you get exhausted, the sooner it starts building up your torpor, with you constantly hitting things. And although we're down to the last one, boom, we're also down in general. So that was nearly an embarrassing way to get farked in the first few minutes, but thankfully, as it's just one compy, it's not getting the pack buff, so it's not doing much damage, and at the same time it's also decided already that it doesn't want to attack me because it's one compy by itself. If you get the one compy, they'll just come and stand next to you and stare at you. If they start to get packed, then that's when they get aggressive and they'll all start to come after you. So we're going to kill it, but it's run away, so we're going to leave it as we're still knackered and just chop up his mates for some hide and meat. Hide, of course, we're wanting to get a nice supply of in the first place, just so we can get a sleeping bag, and then once we've got enough later on, we can move up to getting a tent. Sorry, a tent? Don't know what I'm saying there. A bed, which then means we have a permanent spawn point in the base. So we're going to go down, get the sleeping bag, and we've already learnt the water skin. So just remember what I'm doing for a second. There we go. Craft the sleeping bag first, as that's the more important bit for me. And then we've got some spare, so we're going to craft the water skin too. Check there's nothing around to eat me, just whilst I'm making my way slowly to the water, crafting. Always remember, when you craft, you're not going to be able to run. So if you're out and about and, for instance, want to craft more arrows to attack something, make sure something's not chasing you. And there we go, water skin the hotbar, press the button and it fills it. Back at the base, as you can see, I've managed to build it up to a 2x2 now, completely surrounded it. It's not a pretty looking thing, but it's good enough to start in. I'm going to mine out this stone for the flint and the stone, obviously in the stone. Also, of course, I'm going to get a small bit of metal, but not enough to really do much with. Main thing is I've already put down a mortar and pestle, so all my stone and all my flint goes straight into there to make up spark powder. And of course the sport meat goes straight in with the narcotics to make up, with the narco berries to make narcotics. Now, to point out before everyone goes on about it, because I'm sure people will in the comments later on in the games, yes, I always use wood for my fires, yes, I always use wood for my forges. Yes, I know, spark powder is better, it lasts longer, blah 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 blah. Spark powder doesn't create charcoal, and I want the charcoal for the gunpowder. So, using spark powder has 2 downsides. No charcoal, but also, just as importantly, I need the spark powder for making the gunpowder anyway, so it's wasting the spark powder. and even in later game, the grind for collecting spark powder is unreal, and it's just so irritating. I have boosted my settings on this server. I mean, my levels are going to go up quite sharpish, and I do get a little bit more for resource gathering and such. Past that, it's the same. Dinosaurs still do the same amount of damage. I haven't got extra powers or anything. I'm not up to, for instance, like 1,000 health, and I'm not going to find a level 150 Rex that only does 1 damage a bite or anything. It's literally just the bits for the resource gathering. I believe I've increased the crop growth, and I believe I've increased the taming speed and baby maturation. So, as we can see, just around the corner from me is the first metal deposit I've got, which is the main reason I'm here, so that I can actually get a lot of metal early game. And we've now got to level 11, but level 10 is the first big step you've got, which is your bow and arrow. I want the bowler as well, but I'm 1 point off of that. So we're down the beach hunting around, and what do we find but a derpy Diplo stuck in the trees. So Diplos are always a good thing to attack. They'll give you prime meat if you need it. They'll give you meat. They'll give you sauropod vertebra if you need it for the boss trophies. But they'll also give you a lot of hide. And for low level like me, it's going to give me probably a couple of levels. I believe it was free, but I can't honestly remember. Only problem is this annoying habit of theirs to push you away all the time. Of course, watch out where you are attacking them and be aware of your surroundings. I've more than once managed to suffer from attacking a Diplo and it pushing me off the edge of a cliff or something. Best idea, stay under it like this and just keep stabbing them with a spear. Just to be clear, I think this is the longest, if not the second longest, clip that I mashed together for this whole video, because this took a lot longer than I expected to kill, as I thought it was only a 20 something, not a 56. Now it's knocked me away, so I've changed over to the bow and arrow. Realistically, I shouldn't have done. I should have stuck on the spears. They're easier to craft. They do more damage in the time space with how quickly you can do it. And also at this stage, I'm not only wasting the arrows, but I'm slowly reducing the durability of my bow as well. One fun fact for you there, though, apparently. Hitting the Diplo in the face does not give you extra damage. So just keep walking back and shooting until, of course, it does that annoying bit. Always be aware of, as well, of course, with the spear, of anything else around it. For instance, now I'm going to carry on with the arrows, because if I got too close and stab it and the turtle walks by, I might get that at the same stage, and then I don't really want to be fighting a Diplo that's throwing me around and a turtle that's going to tank far too many hits. And there we go, back again, thanks Diplo. Never quite get how that works. They're a friendly animal, so they like to throw you a good 30 meters across the map. Yeah, thanks for that, buddy. Right, he's on the run now, so we should be safe from the head end, especially if we stay puncturing the posterior, let's say, to be polite for now. We are going to try and keep this series child friendly. Obviously, to be clear, at times it might sound like I'm cursing, but fuck is, of course, just arc. So please remember that and don't start cursing me for being rude and obscene all the time. But here we go. Finally, many minutes later, it's getting bloody and it's getting weak. And any time now, it will finally drop. And not only will I have my levels, but I'll have the hide I need, which is to create the forge and the bed and such. So here we go. Level 56. I'm still low level. And out of that, we're getting the raw prime meat, as I said, the hide, and the raw meat. Raw prime meat would be brilliant if I was going for a tame straight away, or if I had one knocked out already. I don't. I have, in fact, just knocked out a Dimorphodon, and I believe that's just about to be waking up in a second, but where I cut it, I forgot to put that on, sorry. But the important bit is the hide, which, compared to the dodos, which give you a little bit, this is just giving me 180 hide, which is more than enough for what I need for now. So, now we're back. We've already made a forge, but I'm checking how much to make another one. And we've opened up the back there, because I got a few more bits out of a drop box. Sorry, a loot drop. And in here, we're going to chuck all the bits we need for making a smithy, so that I don't need to keep running to and fro from different boxes. Now, we've basically got everything we need for it, apart from the metal, which is in the forge, slowly burning away. Don't forget, we've got spoiled meat from the prime meat, and we've got narco berries, so we're going to craft up a few more narcotics. And go and hunt the last few bits we need for the forge. And we're back. Yes, I've tamed a couple of dodos. Yes, they're useless. But when it's pitch black at night and the fires aren't going, it's nice to have those little green names glowing up at you. Plus, later on, the dodos do actually come useful because you need them for dodo kibble to tame the Gigantopithecus and the Mesopithecus, which, let's face it, the less time you have to follow them around shoving berries up them, then the better. So, back into the forge, check what we've got. I believe we had about 40 pieces of metal. Of course, 2 pieces of metal burned down into 1 ingot. Need 5 ingots for the smithy. So, I always try to at least get myself about 20 or so pieces of metal to burn down into ingots. But we've got the smithy, so we'll just go and place that. And where I'm low level, I haven't learnt everything. The most important bit I learnt straight away for the metal tools wasn't the hatchet or the pike or anything like that, of course. It was the pick. Because the sooner you've got the metal pick, the sooner you can collect more metal. So, it's 1 bit of wood, a bit of hide, 1 metal ingot, and that's all we need. So, I'll go back into here, at which stage, in that time, just to go there and back, I've got 2 more metal ingots. And I'll chuck them in there. And for the sake of it, I might as well just make myself 2 more picks. So that I've got 1 to keep with me, and 1 in case everything goes completely wrong, that I've still got in the smithy for later on. So, munching up some berries to get rid of some weight for now. Don't eat the stim berries, because although they'll make you regain stamina faster, they will also reduce your hydration, or your amount of water, ridiculously quickly. And there we go, we've reached 21, and we've got to the trank arrows. The next important bit. First bit, of course, is the bow and arrow. Next bit is the trank arrows, after the smithy and such. But in a way, the trank arrows are kind of more important than the smithy. The smithy is brilliant, and the metal tools are fantastic, but in game progression, it's not really going to start benefiting you until you've also made up that crossbow. But for now, we're going to use the narcotics that I've already been making, make up a couple of arrows, because the next big thing that we want to actually tame is going to be a trike. Now, we've emptied out some weight, probably not enough. I'm there on the map, which you can't see because it's really dark. Thanks for that. Basically, we're still on the same island. We're going right to the top of it because at the top there is not only some purer metal deposits, but there is also some crystal deposits. And so the crystal, not fantastically useful for most things, unless you're doing greenhouses or unless you're getting up to higher level stuff where you want crystal. But low level, the most important thing you use it for is a spyglass, so you can actually see from a distance what level the dinosaurs are. Made up a couple of spears, because you always want your spears on you so that you can stab things from a distance, and apparently I'd broken all of mine. There we go, the crafting, I can go back to running. Only downside of crafting is that slowness, but there we go. And so this bit's fairly easy for the navigating. I just know that I'll keep going up the hill. And of course, it's the middle of the night and I'm still too hot. That could be the joy of the leather armour, it could be the joy of the fact that I've got the torch out. But frankly, I'm not concerned. It's not enough to bother me really, and I still have some water skins on me. So, just keep running, just keep running. As we said, better concentration of metal nodes here. And up a bit more, and here we are, we found the crystal. Now, when I went through this with a stone pick, I think I harvested 4 different crystal growths, I suppose we're going to call them. And I only got 1 piece of crystal out of those. And of course, my dear friends, the bugs are back. Now, when I first started playing this, I had it down on about a level 4 or a level 5 difficulty. The bugs weren't that high, you could walk back and stab them with a spear, and it was never really a problem as long as you knew they were coming. Now, I've cranked it up to what it should be, which is level 1, so I have a max of 150 level dinosaurs in the wild. And yeah, I'd forgotten how slow I was at the start, and I'd forgotten how powerful the bugs can be. The flying ones are a nightmare, because when they can keep up with you, then they'll hit you, they'll go past you, and you're spending more time spinning around trying to find them than you are hitting them. In all honesty, I actually found a bug earlier, and it killed me, I think, 4 or 5 times, as every time I got back to my bag, before I'd even pick my stuff up, it had done 2 hits, which pretty much broke my bones already, because it was a level 88 Titan mirror or flying ant. And there we go. I think that was another one on the ground, but we're not going to stop long enough for it to bite us because it sucks. And thankfully nowadays you get this fantastic green beam of the body locator. When I first started playing this, you didn't get the body locator, and it was a nightmare. And the amount of stuff you'd lose because you could not find your bag again. You might have dropped it, and your body might have fallen down a hill before it got eaten or something, or you might have left your bag in a box, in a bush or something. Now, as you saw there, I also tamed a pego. They're a nice simple thing to do. If you're collecting berries all the time by hand, always make sure you've got berries in your far right slot there, because if a Pegamastix attacks you, then it's always going to take whatever in your furthest right slot the first time, and the way you tame them is let them steal berries off you. Now, I'm going to chop up my body to get rid of the body locator in case I die again, because I don't want to be running to the wrong one and finding it's got nothing in it, which I have done before now when I die repeatedly. So, I'm over encumbered. Quick trick, we're going to go into the Pegamastix, and for now I'm just going to chuck the stone in, as that's the only thing that's not really important. I'd rather keep the rest on me in case I die. If your Pegamastix dies, you're not going to get a locator for it. If you die, you'll get a locator for your body. So, at the same time, I could use some backup, and here it is. A nice little dilo. I don't really care what level it is at the moment, to be honest. It's more bodyguard / cannon fodder. We're not going to waste the arrows on it, we're just going to beat the juju berries out of it with a club. And of course, here's our friends again, the ants. Now, the floor ones aren't really too bad. They're not the fastest things in the world in comparison to the flying ones anyway. You get a little bit of kiting out of them, and they're easy enough to get away from with the spear. One thing to remember, of course, is if there's flying ants, then you can kill those, but then be aware that the soldier ants or the walking ants are always going to be close by. And here we are. We've got the dilo. We're going to name it, and of course it's a bodyguard, so there's only one name it can have: Kevin. So, let's try and get ourselves back. Now, although it seems nice and simple, I still get myself lost. Realistically, not only is the map fantastic for this because it's now pointing which direction you go, and oh, of course, more ants, because yeah, gotta love those bugs. Yes, joyous bugs. There's always something that's got a fark you, and apparently for this episode, it's gonna be the bugs. Back again. There's the Pegamastix, which is still attacking the ants, and there's my body. And there's Steve. It's not Steve, it's Kevin. I'm not sure why it's Steve, but never mind. Oh, and there's the ants on the floor as well. Get the spears back out. But thankfully we don't need to worry too much, because dear old Kevin and the Pego are going to take care of them for us. As I said, it's not a high level dilo, but it does the job of keeping me safe and working with cannon fodder of distracting dinosaurs that want to attack me instead. Yeah, I know that's quite harsh, but you know, it's survival of the fittest, whether or not it's that game mode. So, chuck the levels into health, chuck the levels into attack, and that's all you really need your dilo for. And of course, if you want to, you can get a pack of them, you can use woo, hello for a Xenosaur. Whether or not I'm pronouncing these names right, I don't know, and if I'm not, then I'm sorry for people, but realistically, we're just going to call it the giant turkey with huge freaking claws. So, we're still trying to find our way back now. We've chucked the Pegamastix down, because although when you put the stone in it and you pick it up, it reduced my unencumberedness, which is quite a strange thing, as I'm now carrying that in there. But right up the top here is the first Osseo as well. But of course, chucking things in it and getting it to follow us means that I've got less weight on me in general anyway, even if it does reduce it in the Pegamastix. So now, this should be nice and simple for me. All I've got to do is get down this hill to the water over there. And there we go. For once I'm actually heading in the right direction. But, there we go. Welcome to low level. Dehydration set in to the stage of it's actually broken my bones. So, I'm going to munch up some berries, try and heal up a bit. And we're going to chuck some clothes on. But of course we're not really, because we're going to get attacked by bloomin' bugs again. Later game, when you get yourself the toad or the beezel bufo, however it's pronounced again, then bugs are fantastic. You attack them with your toad, and the tow will actually convert them, once it's killed them, straight into cement and paste. Not completely, but it will make cement and paste as it harvests the bodies. But at this stage, they're just a pain in the backside. And we've already got ourselves turned around thanks to that. So we're going to head back this way. But of course, we're getting attacked by compies now. Now, compies are always fun to have, but I tell you what, for the sake of what you've got to do for them, of putting the prime meat in to tame them, they're normally not worth it. Oh, and of course, what's that? Boom, Mega Neura. Now, in my defense, it was more than one, but the fact that it was level 4 that killed me doesn't really make me feel great. So, we're going to run back. You can't quite see the body locator till we get close, but thankfully, we've got the the damage hits, or the overlays or whatever for the damage, showing up from the Dilo and the Pego. And we're going to do the really brave thing of running away as fast as possible. Now, they're both following us, thankfully. Oh, one Dilo. So, I get cocky and think we're just going to take that one out. But there's more than one Dilo, of course. So they're eating that one, and this one's attacking me. And there we go, that's both of them down. Nice and easy. As I said, always a good idea to keep dinosaurs on you, because even if they don't kill it, at least they're stopping it from attacking you. Now, basically we've just got to go down that way. We're going to try and find somewhere safe, and realistically it's something you should always stick to, because there's nothing worse than taking the leap of faith and breaking your bones. Like that. Yeah. So, we've broken our bones. What we can do, that's it. We're going to look at a bush, not notice that little Dilo over there by the tree. And we're going to die. Let's be honest. There's no polite way to put it. Still trying to craft up the spyglass as well. Munch a couple of berries. Spoiled meat's not helping me, so to be honest, even if the Dilos didn't get me, the spoiled meat would. As you notice there, they've just run straight past my Dilo and it's done absolutely nothing. That's because it was on neutral, and until you attack it, it won't attack them. And welcome to the next bit of getting farked. I ended up dying. I came back to find my bag was stuck in a tree. And I could see the bag, and it would let me hold on the menu, but I could not access it. So I then had to punch the tree down with my bare hands. At the same time, you might notice I've not got the dinosaurs following me. It seems that the two Dilos were a bit much for my Pegomastics and my Dilo as I was running back, and they were both dead. Right, so now we're just going to run out of here and get back to the base. And here we are a bit further on. We've tamed a trike. It was only a level 8, but it's enough to gather berries from now. And we found a pterodon. Once again, it's not the highest. It's only a 68, I believe that was. But yeah, it'll get us flying once we get the saddle. And whilst we're waiting for it, we've got another Dilo to tame up. At the end of the day, we lost one, so we'll replace it with one. Now, one handy thing to remember, for those of you that don't realise it, is the ducks that are down there on the beach will actually give you organic polymer. Previously, you could only get your organic polymer on the island from penguins, which means going out into the snow, which means your fur armour, so very late game. But nowadays, you can get your organic polymer off that, and that means you can get your ghillie suits, which is pretty much the only thing I believe in the game that you have to have only organic polymer for. You can't use the crafted stuff. And this is where it goes wrong attacking the Furzinosaur. It was only a low level, but having that bit of a stop and running out of the rhythm didn't work. Now if you get it just right, you can hit it and knock it back before it hits you. But yeah, it didn't go quite right. And now, there we go, bye bye trike. However, the whole reason I went for it was to get a bit more XP. And trike may be dead. And it's got a lot of junk on it, of course, but so nearly is the turkey. So we're going to change to arrows, non-trank arrows, and be a little bit daft and see if we can carry on killing it. Of course, if I can hit it, that would be a good start. And there we go, one hit and it was down. So might have lost the trike, but it was kind of worth it. It wasn't a high level trike, I'm not going to miss it, and I've now got the levels from that. And in fact, look what's right in front of us whilst we're still waiting for the pterodon to tame. It's another trike. Now, to be clear, you didn't see me pick the stuff off my other trike's body. That's because I checked it and the decompose timer was actually really quite high on it. I'll have to double check if I have actually tweaked that, but It just means that I don't need to worry about taking the stuff off it quite yet. So I might as well tame up this trike and then put the stuff on it once I've got this. So kiting around the rocks always works quite well. Just make sure it can't knock you off through the rock. And next thing that I want to get is the parasol. Now, no one really likes the parasol, let's be honest. It's weak, it can't do any decent attack. It's just pretty much dino bait. But it's faster than me, it can carry more weight than me. So for now, that's all I want. Wonder what was attacking me for a second until I realised that my Dimorphodon was actually biting the parasol on my shoulder. So it's not the highest levels or anything, it's not the most fantastic of beasts, although apparently when this TLC 2 comes out then it should be improved quite a lot. But you know, I need something with a bit better weight than me, I need something to move faster than me and move faster for longer than me, and a parasol covers that. Plus low level, unless I'm mistaken, taming will actually give me some more XP as well. We just need the bits now to make up the saddle. So we'll enjoy the beach. We're going to go and have a hunt round for that favourite victim of every survivor who needs a bit of meat and a bit of hide. It is, of course, the dodo. Maybe that's why they're truly extinct. As you can see, I've also managed to get my few more metal tools now. We have the crossbow, as we've seen, we've got the pike. So we're slowly creeping up in the levels. Now, we've got our dodos down. They're only taking a couple of hits each. And that's a bit of meat, and that's the hide. Always grab some more hide if you can. Of course, there's always part of you that feels slightly bad about just going around hunting all the dodos you can find to murder. But at the moment, that part of me is overweighed by the need to get a saddle for the parasol. So, I'll check what else we need. And as it is, we need a little bit of fibre and a little bit of wood. Once again, nice and easy. And of course, as usual, I'm starving. Now, as I said, let's face it, this bit is boring, it's the grind, it's low level, it's not interesting. We're only going up against the crap dinosaurs, and no one really cares, let's be honest. So that's why I've tried to cut this down from the 3+ hours that it was to this half hour. And the only reason I'm going to put it up is just to prove that I have actually done it, rather than just come in and spawn the first few bits and be like, oh, look at the hard grind, when all I've done is typed in some codes. You can do it, I know you can. I know you can do creative mode. I know a lot of people will. I mean, I personally enjoy building as well, so creative mode in that respect is absolutely fantastic. But I find if you're going to play the game, then if you want to actually complete the game properly, you've got to do it properly. I could cheat it all in, I could cheat myself in a high level dinosaur and everything, but it's summed it up right in that description. I could cheat, but I'm not going to. As it is, there's enough things that you can get away with the game, like for instance the reduced weight on putting things in on your shoulder, pets instead. And that's our parasol saddled and made now, thanks to the jibber jabber. Parasol tame now. Oh, now it's the parasol saddle made. And so we've stuck the skin on it. The skins don't do anything fancy, it's just looks better, and I've got the skins, so I might as well use it. Another good thing about the parasol, if you need it, you can actually use your weapons on the back of it. There are a few dinos you can, I believe the trike you can as well, raptors, wolves, etc, etc. But, you know, it's a small benefit. You can stay on it, you can shoot something, run off, shoot it again, run off. However, it does also harvest berries and thatch and wood, but it has a really small attack radius, damage radius for its bite. So you've pretty much got to be right on top of things, hence why the trike's a better option. Once again though, where the trike's a low level, then if I run around on it the whole time, then the stamina drains. If I get to follow the parasol, which has got better stamina, then any dinosaurs following you do not drain their stamina. So I can get it to follow me around, find the bushes, and go that way. And that's about it, really, for now. I've got myself my flyer, but I haven't got to the level of the saddle yet, so that'll be a next episode thing. Got a little shoulder pet for amusement, I've got the dilos, I've got somewhere safe to stay, I've got the basics of the forge, the smithy, fireplace, a little bit of storage. So yeah, that's a good start, I'd say. And this is pretty much a good place to wrap it up. So I hope you've all enjoyed this. I hope it hasn't been too boring following through on the grind that every single one of us has probably done hundreds of times, especially if you play on servers. But here we are. It's got through it at least. Thanks for bearing through with me. If you've got this far, then congratulations. I do promise that the next time I will try to make a bit more excitement out of the episode, and I'll try to record it in live timing rather than clipping it together. I won't be doing live streams thanks to the joy of having kids and family. But remember, if you like it, subscribe and stay tuned for more. All the best, guys. Take care. See you soon. Bye bye.